Welcome to Aging Matters. This is a program that is sponsored and provided by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Barlet, and I'm the Manager of Public Advocacy and Outreach for the agency. Welcome this evening to our show. Tonight's topic is how to prevent falls and fall-related injuries among older adults. And I think that it's very timely because we are in September, and September 23rd in particular has been declared National Fall Prevention Awareness Day. Then we have Fall Prevention Awareness Week, which is kind of that same week where the 23rd occurs. And of course, we celebrate the month of September as Falls Awareness and Falls Prevention Month. One of the reasons that they select September 23rd for the Falls Awareness Prevention Day is because it's the beginning of fall. So I think it's timely that we talk about that this evening, and I'd like to introduce my guest tonight, Martha Sitler. She is the Vice President of Education at Berks Encore, so thanks for being with me.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be talking about falls. I think it's a very,
something we don't want to do, but we've got to talk about it, right?
I think it is a very important topic, and we both know that senior falls can be very devastating, can be life-changing.
Well, and even as we age and we see how the less we bounce back, right. We don't spring back up sometimes after a fall. We may fall, but we tend to hit harder, we tend to do a little bit more damage as age creeps up. And so I think that some of the things that I wanted to start with is, again, why I know Martha and I, because we are instructors in a couple of classes that help to educate people, particularly older adults, about fall prevention. We're very, very passionate about that. I want to provide that so people can remain as healthy and as independent as possible. But I think sobering facts I want to present now with some of the statistics that we have, both from the Centers for Disease Control, as well as some statistics that are part of a particular fall prevention program. So I'm going to start with a couple of the statistics. A third of Americans age 65 and older fall each year. A third. Every 13 seconds, an older adult is treated in the emergency room for a fall. 13 seconds. I could pause probably for 13 seconds and be quiet and imagine that. And every 20 minutes, so within this one show, an older adult dies from a fall. And that just hits home. Let me talk about some other things. That falls are the leading cause of fatal injury and the most common cause of non-fatal trauma-related hospital admissions, again, among older adults. In 2013, the total cost of fall injuries was $34 billion. Imagine that, billion, not million. I'm going to just get into a couple more. That half of the people who break a hip do not recover fully, and that almost half of the people who enter nursing homes, think about that, almost half of the people who enter nursing homes do so because of a fall, and after the fall they cannot stay at home on their own. And last, and here's one of the keys that I think we're going to help prevent or tackle, is most falls occur in people's own homes as they do their regular daily activities. So knowing that and knowing some of those sobering stats, we wanted to prevent some basic information, and I think some of the key pieces of the prevention. We're going to show a little bit, do a couple of demonstrations at the end of the show on some of the exercises that you can do to help build some strength and balance and flexibility, and do some of those routinely every day so that we're building that up, hoping that we're stronger to prevent falls, or if we do fall, we've done a little less damage or have the ability to understand and know how to get back up and the strength to do so.
And I think that it's so important that even though these statistics are certainly frightening, and as we said, a fall can be life-changing for many seniors, we do believe very firmly that many or most falls can be prevented. And we're going to show you this evening and tell you some of the things you can do, maybe not prevent every fall, maybe not stop every fall, but cut down on your risks of a fall. And we have some ideas for you that are very doable, and some things programs that you can join to help to reduce your risks.
And I think one of the things that I do, on that same line, Martha, was one thing that you and I spoke about a little on our own, but was that falling is not an inevitable result of aging.
Right.
So it's not like just, oh, I'm going to fall because I'm older.
Right.
I mean, yes, you might just because, but we do too. And so we're going to tackle some of those things. We have a lot to cover in this show, and I really want to talk about some prevention, but let's first talk about, I'm going to call them 3 different kind of categories. I want to talk about some home safety, some common home safety things that we'll touch upon lightly. Then we're going to look at a little bit about practical lifestyle adjustments and some education, and then exercise. Okay, we're going to be moving tonight. All right, so Martha, let's talk about some real simple, quick things that we do educate folks about in home safety. Some of the simple things we can do if we're thinking about our home and our environment. What are some things that we can make either reduce the risk for falling or increase the safety?
Well, statistics show that one of the most dangerous places for people in their own home is the bathroom. So we can look around your own bathroom and find out where some of the risks lie. First of all, getting in and out of a tub can be very dangerous, can be difficult. You really need good balance if you have to step up over that tub. So let's look at that first. Are there grab bars? And we're not talking about holding on to the towel rack.
But it's so handy and convenient, right?
That's not going to hold your weight if you start to fall. So grab bars are certainly recommended, and they should be professionally installed so that they're done correctly and that they will hold your weight if you would happen to have to grab one in a hurry. So the professionals can also place those where they will do the most good for you. Grab bars are very important. You might also want to think about grab bars or some kind of an aid to help you if you have difficulty getting up and down from the toilet. One of the easiest things is to get a higher toilet seat, of course, so that it isn't so difficult to get up. Maybe some grab bars right near the toilet. There's also a contraption, I'll call it. It looks almost like a walker, and it sits over the toilet seat, and then you have 2 handholds to help yourself get up and down, because many people do fall trying to get up off of the toilet. Things like throw rugs on the floor or a bath mat on the floor can certainly be a trip hazard, and we all know that if you fall in a bathroom, you're going to hit something hard.
It doesn't give,
and probably hit your head pretty hard. So those are some of the things. Of course, if there's soap on the floor or water on the floor, make sure you wipe it up. Make sure you have a good sturdy bath mat that's not going to slip and slide. And they do wear out, as we have said before. So make sure they're in good condition and that you're not going to slip while you're in the tub. So those are some of the most important in the bathroom.
Okay, good. I think in general, some other safety things as far as environment at night, getting up from bed, want to talk about maybe some lighting.
Sure. Another spot certainly where people fall often is around the bed when they try to get up at night and make their way to the bathroom perhaps. Make sure that you have some kind of a light, either a night light that shows and lights your path on the way to the bathroom, or maybe a little portable flashlight right near the bed. If nothing else, turn on some lights as you go. But make sure that your path is well lighted. Make sure you have a clear path, no clutter on your way. A misplaced pair of slippers or something on the floor could certainly end up tragically on nighttime visit to the bathroom. And also maybe the bed clothes. Sometimes we throw the bedspread down off the end of the bed, and that can be a trip hazard as well.
Because it just kind of clumps and lays there and our foot gets stuck
Right.
in that. Okay. And in general, I think just the living room environment too, where you know, sometimes I think habits have come into play. I personally hear of these and think of these things where you're sitting in your favorite chair reading your newspaper or magazines, as you said, that can be slick. And sometimes we just say, oh, we'll put it down next to us because I'll pick it up when I'm going out to the kitchen to throw away or wherever. And we forget. And then the next day, the next paper or the other magazine gets there, and it becomes a trip hazard because we've put that in our way. And again, watch for cords and things like that that might be certainly not back against walls and things that cause us to not see it or trip over
The
it.
same thing with steps, indoor or outdoor steps. Make sure that we don't pile something there on the bottom step to go up later, or
You mean I can't do that anymore?
not if you don't want to fall.
Okay.
Or on the top step
do
to go
better.
down. Make sure that the steps are well lighted. Make sure that you have a light switch at both the bottom and the top of the steps so you don't have to do either direction. And make sure that that the tread is sturdy, that it's not worn on the edges. If you have carpet, make sure you don't have pieces of carpet hanging out where you could catch your heel and trip. And so steps are another problem
And
area.
with the steps, I think too, sometimes we've talked about whether it's in home or not in your home, whether it's visiting somebody or you know, out shopping or something like that. Even if you have the ability in your home, sometimes because it is carpeted, you know, we hear a lot of folks that miss the last step
Right, they
or the
don't
top
see it.
step. And so we may be able to identify that somehow with a strip of tape that's a good adhesive on it that might be different, at least from the carpet color. Whether it's reflective or not is helpful at night, but you know, something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
And certainly use the handrails that are there for your convenience.
Well, then how do I carry all my stuff?
Yeah.
Instead, you know, if I have to take little loads and hold on, and
We do
you
talk
know.
about that in several of our classes.
And some of the folks, I think, speaking of handrails and steps, the one other thing I think of is folks that have laundry facilities on a lower level. They must do steps up or down to do that. Some thoughts as to how to make that easier. How can they do that?
We've had some very creative solutions offered from some of our participants in the classes. Many of them will perhaps put the laundry in a bag with a drawstring on it and either throw the bag down ahead of them or drag the bag down beside them so that they still have a hand free to hold on to the handrail rather than a laundry basket in front of them where then they can't see the steps in front of them.
And they're holding on to the basket and then
Right.
the handrail also.
Right. There are also laundry baskets that are kind of kidney shaped that you can put on one hip
Okay.
and then still have a hand free to go to hold on to the railing. So those are some of the solutions that we've learned from some of our participants.
And I think that that some of the other items that we talk about in our class are things like footwear. And so what I'm going to suggest is that to learn more, I mean, we talk about footwear, and a lot of folks have gone out and gotten sneakers and think that's the end solution, and it's not necessarily. You know, a key piece of good footwear is it's got to fit, and our feet change over time. And, you know, so we may have to buy a different size, you know, later in life. And we want to make sure it's a good traction, not worn traction, and fits properly, and we wear that particularly when we're doing all kinds of activities. And in the class, we talk about other lifestyle changes. We talk about medication, depression, and some other issues as it relates to falling and prevention of falls. So I'm going to suggest that one idea is to come to our classes, and one would be, we have a class called Healthy Steps for Older Adults, and I'll see if I can show the book right up here. It's called Healthy Steps for Older Adults. It is what we call evidence-based program, which means it's a tried and true. It's been tested, researched, published, and has been established by the University of California at Berkeley as an excellent program. And Martha and I are instructors in it and present that at a couple of places. And we have a couple of classes that are set up at some of the local senior high-rises And I'm just going to mention one in particular that's actually open to the public. It's through Boscov's Campus of Courses. It is on Tuesdays, September 22nd and 29th, from 10 a.m. to noon at the Boscov's East Department Store. And if you want more information, you can call us at the Area Agency on Aging or Martha at Berks Encore or Boscov's. So we can give you more details on that. We want to feel like we're rushing, but we have so much to cover. I want to get into, we talked a little bit about evidence-based education, talking about all those components and where people are at risk for falling. And I know that Martha also is an instructor in the Matter of Balance program. So do you want to tell a little bit about that, Martha?
Sure. I also have a little brochure that I can hold up as well. A Matter of Balance is a nationally recognized evidence-based program. It is a little bit longer, more detailed course, but many of the same topics are covered. And A Matter of Balance talks about ways to change your lifestyle in order to reduce your risk of falling. It also deals with the fear of falling, because we know that people who have fallen or perhaps have seen somebody have a bad fall get very afraid of falling, and then they do less exercise. I can't go to exercise class because I might fall. I can't go to church. I can't go out to the senior center, and their life becomes very limited. So we are offering a number of Matter of Balance classes. We're working with the Reading Health Trauma Center because they're also very concerned with senior falls. And we are offering a series of those classes to begin the first week in October. Those will be held at the Reading Health Rehab Hospital on Paper Mill Road. And again, you can call me to register, or you can call the Reading Health Hotline because those classes are listed in their Words of Wellness.
Okay. One of the things that you did mention as far as that fear of falling, and I think that's a good thing. What happens is I think it's almost this cycle that, some folks decline physically because they're inactive. So their muscles become weaker, so that when they go to do something, they have more aches and pains and it hurts more, so we do less. And then as we do less, some of the psychological things like depression starts to set in. And then we also decide, as you said, we don't go out to the senior centers or other activities, so become a little isolated socially, and then kind of like, and so that's when we're not thinking, we don't care, and trips occur. So if we can reverse that by building up some of our muscles, our strength, our flexibility, and balance to help to do that. So I think what we'd like to do with the time that we have is talk about some of the exercises, demonstrate them so you can see that we can do them. And I think the key that I'd like to share with these exercises is they are in the Healthy Steps for Older Adults program that we do, and some are in the Matter of Balance.
So we both include an exercise component.
And I think what's good about that is that we certainly will show them and demonstrate them, and the class participants practice them. But the key is it's not just that day, that class, that time. This is something that we're going to say you can do in your own home throughout the day and night. Particularly, I'm bored with commercials, so I typically will get up and do something. Well, here's an opportunity to get up and do one of these exercises.
In between your favorite BCTV program.
There you go. Also, if I'm in the kitchen and I am waiting for, put something in the microwave to reheat, for that minute, I can be doing some of the exercises also that we're going to show, and just doing that a couple of times a day, you'll be amazed at some of the common lifestyle, the daily activities and routines get a little easier, lighter, better, like the things we're going to show are going to benefit you getting out of a chair, getting out of your car, getting up steps of the bus, down steps in a facility, a department store, to carry the laundry, the bags of groceries, things like that. I think that will all come into play, making it a little easier for us. So if we can, on our extension cords here, see if we can get up. I wore my sneakers, Martha.
I didn't.
So
that's all right.
So I'm all set. I've got some. So I don't know. I'm going to. I'll let you. Can you get yourself over? I'm going to come around. Come this way.
Mm-hmm.
You're tethered here. That's what I.
Oh well.
No, you're stuck.
Okay, I'll stay right here.
All righty. So then, are
we
you
have
going
a
to
few
talk me
minutes
through, and
anyway.
should I demonstrate?
Sure, go ahead. How about a few of the first ones we'll do are just a few hand exercises. We have
Okay,
hand,
and I can, I did them in the order because I could sit initially or,
All right,
or stand,
that would
right?
be
So
great.
some of these you can sit.
hand, flex, and stretch.
Okay,
And then
so how do I do that?
then first thing that we're going to do is just stretch out your hands
Okay,
and then make a soft fist, not a hard fist. Just stretch your fingers. It's good if you have some arthritis in your hands. How about palms up, palms down?
okay.
That's actually not just working your hands, but also your lower arms, your elbows, and
So
even up
I
into
could
your
do,
shoulders.
you want me to do that or just
Yep,
the,
just basically your hands
Okay.
over and down, but
Okay.
you can feel that up into your
and I can
arms.
do that. Okay.
Another one is for elbow and shoulder flexibility. Healthy Steps calls it reach and pick. We always say we're picking apples. So if you reach one arm up and pick that apple off the tree and pull it down and reach the other arm up. Now if you have some shoulder issues and you can't raise your arm the whole way, just go as far as you can do it.
And I'm looking with it, right?
Yeah, and you're looking up as you reach, which is also exercising your neck.
And little by little, I might be able to get a little higher, right? By stretching a little farther.
Sure.
Okay.
The next one, if you'll do this one, I'll do the following one, the leg extensions.
Okay.
As you're sitting, and you can do this while you're watching TV, just lift one leg up, straighten your leg,
Out.
and
Okay.
point your toes, and now pull your toes back toward your face. And point your toes, and pull it back, and put that foot down, and the other leg.
Oh, I have two. It's always good to be balanced, isn't it?
Right,
Left and right.
right.
Okay.
The
And
next
I can really feel that pulling,
You
just
can.
even sitting and doing it.
You stretch those. I'll do the next one because this one is up on your toes, and you need to hold on to something, and you can see this, I think, from where I'm
can
standing.
you do it, or I
here.
can turn it here? Can you?
Yep, I can't get over there. All you're going to do is
can do
just
this one
raise yourself up on your toes and back down.
And
up.
holding on, obviously,
Hold
would
on,
be
because
the
we
key
do
to
need
that.
a little support for that one. And do it slowly and controlled. Another one is a one-leg stand, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Again, you're holding on to something and just balance on one foot. If you can hold
Do
on
I hold on or I
lightly,
let go?
well, you hold on lightly.
Okay.
As you improve your balance, maybe you can let go for a few seconds. And then, of course, we would do the other leg, but we're running out of time. Would you like to do the calf stretch?
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure I have room here. I don't know if I can do it and show it, so go ahead.
Okay, the calf stretch is you, again, are holding on to something and put one leg back of the other one, and then bend your front knee, keeping both heels flat on the floor.
Okay.
And keep your torso up straight. You can feel that stretch
can.
in the back leg. And then switch to the other foot.
And we'll
again,
have time
keep
for maybe one more,
one
and then
more.
we're going to have to...
All right. And the last one is a tightrope. Do you want to just show that?
Sure.
It would be putting one foot right in front of the other, again, holding on as you get a little bit better. Maybe you can even try walking that way.
Oh, okay.
But that's
And you need something that you're walking to hold on
Right.
to, like a counter or... Okay.
Right.
All right.
So those are just a few of the exercises that we do in these two
Super.
exercise classes.
Well, thank you. And again, you can see that they could be done seated, or you can stand, or you can alternate back and forth if maybe you have a problem, standing for a period of time initially, then do some seated, some standing, and go back and forth on that. As we close our show this evening, I'm going to encourage you to either call Martha at Berks Encore at 610-374-3195, or myself, Ann Barlet, at Berks County Area Agency on Aging at 610-478-6500 for more information about either our Healthy Steps for Older Adults classes or the Matter of Balance program. And I would like to invite folks to a special thing called Fall Prevention Awareness. Yes, we
something you can
have
put up on the
a little flyer
There it
to
is.
put on the screen. Thank you. That's occurring at the Reading Hospital, Reading Health Hospital Rehab. And it is Wednesday, September 23rd. And that is from 1 to 3. I think it's kind of like an open house. Come on in and learn a little bit more about
They
that.
do need to register for that.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, that's really all the time we have. So I want to close this evening by thanking you for tuning in, and stay healthy.